But I want to do these perks. I started doing it on my own, but I want to finish off ranking all these perks. The ones I have so far... Oops, why am I scrolling? Definitely that one has to be first for everybody. I can't see how anybody would not rank that number one. You can get 50% chance for extra perks, so that kind of goes without saying. All the other immunities don't give you projectile resistance, so I have the shield next. It's definitely saved my life more than probably anything else. And then I personally absolutely love the speed one. And infinite spells, fire immunity, I'm constantly setting myself on fire. And explosion immunity is fun, then you can go around nuking things and not worrying about it too much, except for the earthquakes. Trick blood money, absolutely love any way to heal, and if you combine that with that one, then you can heal a lot. More maximum health, extra perk in Holy Mountains, and greed, those are always good. And then I have, these are still on the godly tier. I have melee immunity, extra life, and saving grace. I think those are pretty straightforward. Saving grace is kind of weird. It does save me occasionally, but I find ways to still die when I have that one. Electric immunity and poison immunity, or toxic immunity. And then bigger hearts. That one's good for long game. That I don't have it as high here because if you're just having a small run, this one's way more important than this one. But for a long game, this is what you want. Then you start really buffing up to the thousands of hit points. What's this? No shuffle, of course, because I absolutely hate shuffle wands. Fly for an extra long time. I wish when you were on these icons that it would actually give you a little tooltip telling you what the frickin' perk is. It's kind of silly. I have to like go look it up in here. If I don't know what they are, I don't know what half of them are. Let's see. Anyway, what's that one? Dissolve powders. Then I don't drown in bone dust and stuff like that. All see and I, very fond of that one. Projectile eating sector, whatever the hell it's called. Very handy when this one's on your ass, so if you're running away from enemies, you've got that little shield where the projectiles won't get you. And this is a pacifist contact damage circle. I'm often pacifist, so it's very helpful for me. I can just wander around killing everyone and still get pacifist chests. And then what's this? That's the repulsion sector. It makes your projectiles zoom away from you, as well as enemy projectiles slow down. If they're going slow enough, it'll shoot them backwards. Like, it's really helpful for Stavari. And Hisis and stuff. Although, if it's a sniper, it's still going to go through that. And that's the same thing, but just in front of you, wherever you're pointing your wand. Combined, then you can really get some speed for black holes and stuff. Although it does ruin your accuracy. Faster projectiles, same as these two. Very helpful for black holes and things like that. Kills to mana. Useful if you're going on a killing frenzy and have a wand that wants to drain its mana away. It just refills it to full every time. Invisibility, helpful if you're not wanting to die. Whatever the hell that one is called, the explosive rock that digs all the way to the surface. Quite fond of that one. It's so easy to get back up with that. Iron stomach, so you don't suffer consequences for eating too much, or yeah, like exploding at 200%. It's not too fond of that. I've died once that way and that was enough. Actually, I think I might have died twice. One time not noticing I was overeating after figuring out how that worked. Pinpointer, there's a couple things about that I don't remember. Let me look it up. You're on some an orange laser sight similar to that of reduces spread by 20 degrees and makes it go faster. And it combines, if you do a whole bunch of projectiles at once, then it will go even faster and less spread. Huh. Multicast black holes make them go really fast without any other perks. That's useful. Even just the actual target is pretty handy. Makes it a lot more accurate for shooting your spark bolts across the screen. And exploding gold and exploding corpses It's handy for creating new gold. Where's the gold is forever? Those go well together. Because then enemies who die kill other enemies around them, and this one just makes the gold stick around, so you can go collect it after they've all murdered themselves with exploding corpses and stuff. Good times. I mean, if you have this one, then this one's no longer useful, because that one will never happen. Because the gold doesn't expire. Is this bombs materialized? I think so. Let me double check. Yeah. Not a huge fan of this one. I would probably take it over the ones that show you where things are, because I never really use the radars. Although this radar, which I have never gotten, sounds pretty cool. It tells you a lot of useful things. So I'll put it after that. Flying faster. I love flying faster. Along with that, and I usually like to get 2 or 3 of these in a long run, and maybe 6 or 7 of these. So I'm like insanely fast. I don't know where I'd put that though. What else do we have? This, wait, which one's this? Is that the extra criticals, or let me see. Wait, is that close call? Close. No, that's not close call. Close call is... Okay, that's the one I like. Oops, wrong way. This one is really good. But the other one, I don't like this one because it randomly makes you like sort of half glass cannon. And the unpredictability of it is even worse than regular glass cannon. I tend to kill myself with glass cannon. I'll put it just after glass cannon. Is that no one ticker? That's absolutely horrendous. Yeah, it's even worse than boomerang. And freeze field is terrible. Yeah. All the liquids freeze and you can't even fill up a bottle of water. Pain in the ass. And I hate the legs because then you can't fly. And concentrated spells, it's good in theory that it narrows your spread, but I'd rather do it with pinpointer. This one also causes your healing bolts to do more damage to you, so they no longer heal properly, and same with the whatever circle of vigor. It hurts you and then it heals you. It's very odd. Is this tinker everywhere? Or is that? Okay, it's just the wand. Tinker everywhere is amazing. Where would I take it? I'm just ordering by them in an average run which one I would take over which other ones if they were all sort of available at the same time. I would definitely take it over next to perk. Definitely take it over these, over these, over these. I don't know. Maybe I'd even be there, but nah. Because I can still get out of Holy Mountains pretty easy. There's other ways to tinker. When I first started playing, that was like the #1 perk for me, but these days it's not as important. Alright, that'll be a good fruit. What the hell is that? That's not invisibility. What is that? Sparkly sparkles? Is this gas blood? No. That's oil blood. Alright. Oil blood is immune to fire. It's pretty good, but it's not always good to bleed oil. Gas blood is much more useful because then you don't lose an ambrosia stain if you get damaged. helpful for going through Cursed Rock to the parallel worlds. That's how I died last time I was going through parallel worlds. I bled just a tiny little bit, and then instantly all the ambrosia stain is gone, and you're just spewing blood and dying. Let's see, where would I rank that? Probably there. It's not as good as straight up fire resistance, or that one plus gas blood is ideal. All right, what's this? Is that no shuffle? No, what is that? So frickin' green recycles. Okay, faster ones. $20,000 mana charge speed. Now that would be ridiculous. Oh, it does increase their mana charge speed. I didn't realize that. I thought it just made them faster, but it didn't increase the mana. So it's more useful than I thought it was. Alright, so faster ones is good. Where would I rank that? Right about there. I'm pretty sure I would take flying duration over that. Being able to fly for a long time in the middle of battle is very helpful. Healthy exploration. All right, but not particularly useful. It's more useful than vampirism because it's automatic. Problem with vampirism is it's really slow to drink enough blood to actually heal yourself. A few hundred hit points takes forever. So I almost never take vampirism. I used to like it a lot, but these days I don't ever take it. But I do take this one. So where would I put it? Definitely not better than Gold is Forever, so I'll put it right there. Rage-Fueled Levitation. I like that one a lot. Every time you kill an enemy, your flying meter goes back to 100%. Very helpful in chaotic situations like he sees and stuff. Okay, where's the other flying one? Definitely take it over that. I don't know where I'd place it. Probably after that one, I'm not sure. It has the potential to let you fly more than this does, because that's a fixed double your flying duration. Whereas that one, it's reset to 100% every time an enemy dies. One of those and then one of those would be very handy. Then you can pretty much fly forever in fighting territory. Attract gold. I do like that. Would I take it over Gold is Forever? No. So I'll put it right there. I don't like any of the ghosts. I find them harmful. I don't even know which one's which, though. Let me look at the ghosts. Summons a happy minion who'll eat an enemy projectile every now and then. Gives the damage boost buff for 4 seconds when a projectile is eaten. Collecting all 3 Angry Ghost, Hungry Ghost, and Mournful Spirit. Gives the player a ghost companion and increase the levitation time by 50%. Okay, so Hungry Ghost is useful. There doesn't seem to be any side effects to that. Most of the ghosts will murder you if you get polymorphs. So it's not nice. Not worth it. Okay, so Hungry Ghost is pretty good. Eat those projectiles. As long as they don't eat me. Right about there. Critical plus. Love this. I wouldn't take it over no shuffle, but... Or fire resistance, so... Maybe that makes more sense. Nope. mean, that one's good for long runs, but this is a lot better early run. Breathless. Helpful, but I don't drown that often. What would I call this? Good, I guess. Invisibility or breathless? I don't know which one I would take. Probably like that. Slime blood. The benefit of that is you can run through slime and not get slowed down, so it's pretty handy. But other than that, bleeding slime doesn't do anything useful. So... oh wait, I think slime blood gives you projectile resistance. Let me see. If I could spell. Higher projectile resistance. So this is the projectile one. 25% projectile resistance. Applied directly to the player's current damage multipliers. What the hell does that mean? Makes you bleed more. That's not helpful. Well, the projectile resistance is useful if you, but 25% isn't that big of a deal. I find the shield's way more beneficial than projectile resistance because things like polymorph shots, it doesn't matter if it does 1 damage to you, it still turns you into a sheep. So the shield is way better. Alright, slime blood. I shall place you under good, I guess. Better than invisibility? No. Well, maybe. I'll put it like there. Eat. Okay, that's detrimental. Unless you get the iron stomach first. More damage when you're more full, but yeah, it's really hard to maintain a full stomach. Because you can't actually eat very much once you take this perk. I mean, things like water don't fill you up. I'll put it under meh. Maybe I'll put it here on detrimental. Semi-detrimental. I have died to that though, so I guess it's detrimental. Died a couple times to it. Usually when I get this one, I get that one and then die. Okay, what's this? And that's not fire immunity. What is that? Oh, things near you ignite? Let me see. Gas fire. Gases near you ignite automatic. That's good for clearing acid clouds and stuff. Will ignite any gas in a decent radius around you. If you don't have toxic immunity, this will provide protection against toxic gas. Oh, I actually didn't realize that cleared freezing vapor. Because that shit will kill you fast in Hisi base. So also nullify the risk of suffocating in gas clouds without breathless. I knew that part. While you are normally not likely to catch on fire as a direct result of the gas ignitions, teleporting into gas clouds will likely cause you to catch fire. There should also be aware of fires which may start as a result of igniting small amounts of common gases in the smoke or steam. Oh, that's a weird mechanic. You go to Cloudscape, you're gonna vaporize the clouds. Everything just burns away and you have nowhere to stand. That would be very annoying. Wow. Not sure where I'd put it then. Oh yeah, and that one is Levitation Trail. I don't like it because I'm usually trying to be pacifist sometimes, and those little blips that come out of you when you fly are not pacifist. It has a really cool mechanic if you get homing and that together. You can literally just sit there flying into the ceiling and little green bits will go right through walls and kill everything around the screen. It's awesome. You can totally clear out the Hisi base without ever even fighting anyone, just with those 2 perks. But despite that cool mechanic, I'm not a huge fan of that. Teleportitis, absolutely horrible. Wait, is this... which one's which? Okay, teleportitis damage is reduced by 20%. Every time you take damage, you teleport away. Yeah, that's just awful. You get teleported into lava and acid and shit. And if you get like curse damage or something, you just keep teleporting. It's very awkward. This includes blocked damage and even healing damage from healing projectiles. What the heck? Yeah. Now teleportate is dodge. Teleport a short distance away when an enemy projectile is near. So basically, somebody shoots a projectile at you, you teleport into lava. That's not useful either. Alright, but it's... wait, which one was which? That one was slightly less bad, so... there we go. Now, more blood. Other than with vampirism, I don't see a point to this one. It is somewhat detrimental, but not particularly. I'll put it like that. What the heck is that? It's like a frickin' gas canister. I should remember these. I've taken all these perks, but once I figured out I don't like a perk, I have gone and forgotten what they even are. Plus, some of the icons aren't that descriptive. Okay, that's an always cast. It can easily be detrimental, but it's only detrimental to 1 wand, so I often take it just to try to get a black hole or something useful like that. Or a meteor. That time I had always cast meteor. It was awesome. If I have a throwaway wand especially, I'll go for this one. Just make sure I hold it. So, that is... what would I take? I'd probably take it over all of those. Feared by worms. I never take that. Why would them fearing me prevent them from destroying brickwork? That doesn't make sense. Do they physically not go through brickwork, or do they just try to keep their distance from you? Oh, they literally don't destroy terrain anymore, so you can get stuck in the walls. Yeah, I don't know much about this perk because I don't take it. Worms run away from you, and worms and Lukis no longer destroy ground while burrowing. The not destroying ground is definitely useful, but... how would I rank that? Wait, which one was that? This one. I'd say that's meh. What's the other worm one? Worm Detractor. Worms of the world run from you. Isn't that what the other one was? Oh, removed from the game. Okay, that's worm with a heart. I need another worm. Worm Attractor. Worms of the world come to you. Causes worms to be attracted towards the player's general area. Seems to increase the rate of giant worms. And other worms. Also seems to increase the number of ghost worms. Deadly. Death worm. Those things are freaky. I always keep my distance. Wait, what is this? How do you even kill those? Do you have to destroy a crystal? Okay, you can still damage them. They just go through walls. Sits there trying to destroy a trap and can't damage it. Go, worm, go. I have noticed that it can see me when I'm invisible. Da, 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 da. Doesn't even drop anything when you kill it. This perk can make getting worm blood and health pickups much easier. I do like killing the big worms. I'm a big fan of the big worms. Except when they destroy the holy mountain and piss off Steve. Synergizes with melee immunity, then they can't hurt you. They give up curse damage, the ghost worms. Alright, worm attractor, not useful. Oops, wrong one. Okay, what else we got? I am not a fan of this one. It's electric immunity, but it sends out constant bursts of electricity, so it has a tendency to blow up things around you and get you killed that way. But it's not useless, it's just you have to be very careful with it. What would I take it over? Alright, that looks good. Peace with Gods. It would make sense that I would like this one, considering I'm pretty much always accidentally pissing Steve off, but I kind of like fighting Steve. I turned him into my friend once, and it wasn't that useful. He wandered around the level following me, shooting at everything in the level and generally killing me with his shots, even though he wasn't aiming at me. Having a Steve follow you is pretty terrifying and not entirely useful. I would say meh. Alright, what else? Don't like homunculi. I'm pretty sure they kill you. Triggering the collapse is not necessary. It doesn't matter if you leap towards the bottom or top. There is no limit to how many homunculi can follow the player at a time. Attacks will have 4 different types. Yeah, I don't like anything that attacks. Then it just kills you when you're polymorphed. So you go slightly less bad than teleport. Oh, cordyceps. I forget what that does. What is that? I don't know. High mana, low capacity. Sometimes use that on the starting one that only has 1 slot, because then they can't take any slots away and it goes really fast. Or even faster. It's already fast. 100 to 600. Holy smokes. It's a lot of extra mana. Randomly increases the mana charge speed by 100 to 300. Or multiplies it by 2 times to 3.5 times, whichever is less. Up to 20,000. Halves the one's capacity rounding down. Yeah, well, can't go to 0, so not entirely useful. Unless you're going to be... what's the other one? Whatever the other wand one is. Oops. So this one... probably about there. Not sure what that is. Phasing. I think there's something wrong with phasing. That's why I don't take it. Phasing. Projectiles seemingly phase through you. Every frame that a projectile in a small radius around you moves slower than a basic spark bolt. There is a 50% chance for that projectile to teleport behind you instead of hitting you. Slower projectiles will be more likely to phase. Does not protect you from your own spells. Also increases damage taken by projectiles and explosives by 33%. Yeah, so that's why I never take it. I do not want extra damage, especially projectile damage. Applies to healing projectiles from Hisi healers, making them much less effective at healing you when charmed. Another horrible thing. Synergizes the projectile repulsion field and projectiles slower. Yeah. I don't like phasing. Oops, wrong way again. I will put it down under detrimental. Do I take legs or phasing? That's a hard choice. They both suck. Probably wouldn't take either. If I had to take one, probably phasing. Alright. Cordyceps, what does that do? Fungal creatures spawn from the corpses of enemies killed by you. Fungal creatures explode on death, which can potentially damage a player without explosion immunity. The fungal creatures will spawn from all dead enemies, not just those you killed directly. Gold is forever for it can be useful since there will be a lot of fungus-related deaths around the map. They count as accidental death. %10 resistance to explosion damage. That's like nothing. What the heck is the point of that? If you get all 3 of those, it should give you something a lot better than 10% project or explosion resistance. Maybe 100%. Alright, so Cordyceps is pretty crappy. I will put it under meh. Similarly dangerous to the Lukey, I believe. Let me just check. Oh. Oh yeah, but Lukey Minion, I'm pretty sure will attack you if you're polymorphed. 5 damage every 1/6 of a second, 30 a second. That's a lot of damage, being that it can fly right through walls. So yeah. Cordyceps sounds a little less dangerous. Stainless armor. Can be useful. A lot more useful if you have the thing that makes your stains go down rapidly. Otherwise, a single shot, you bleed a bit, and then it's not working anymore. And for epic runs, you have to like get multiple of them, so you take almost no damage. Where would I put it? Flying fast or that? Flying fast keeps me alive pretty nicely. I don't know. Would I take it over these? How about there? And what's this one? Wand with boxes. Don't know what it's called. Where are you, wand? Extra wand capacity. Yeah, it's good to get the one that gives you more mana. Then you add the capacity to get back up to... Takes a little while, but then you can build awesome wands. But in the short term, that's more useful than the half mana one. A lot more useful. Especially if it actually gives you 3 extra slots rather than 1. Alright, where would I place this? Would I take it over critical? I don't know. They're about equal. I think it depends on the situation and how my wands are doing. Sometimes an extra couple slots is a huge benefit. And other times I have extra slots that I don't need, so... Critical's always awesome. Extra item in Holy Mountain, is that it? Yeah. Wand shops will contain 1 extra wand, and spell shops will contain 2 extra spells. Pretty nice. I would definitely take that over the healthy exploration, which doesn't usually help me too much. Except early game. This one helps you all the time. Always cast. Probably about there. I think Gold is Forever is a little better. Then you have more money to spend. Having extra spells doesn't help if you can't afford them. Alright, what else we got? That wand experimenter. Oops, wrong way. Yes, it is. Firing a new found and unmodified wand heals you. Shuffle wand. 104 health per wand. Well, what does that mean? This perk heals a different amount for shuffle and non-shuffle wands over the course of 7 casts. Oh, I thought it was only the first cast. Well, that's good to know. That's actually useful then. 104, 150, 100. It's quite a bit of hit points recovered. Non-shuffle, much less. The perk still works if spells are removed from a wand if they are dropped on the ground, as long as no spells are added or reordered. Well, that's a crazy hack. If you have Tinker everywhere, then you got yourself a personal healing wand. Okay, that's actually pretty useful. More useful than I thought it was. Alright. Crazy ones heal you. Store it. Now that I learned it's good, I might even take it over the store one. That's actually not too shabby. I thought it was literally the only the first cast, and anytime I had that perk, I cast my wand, my crazy ones that I found once only to heal. I had no idea it worked more than once. Good thing I'm reading these perks that I don't know. Projectile duplication. There's nothing wrong with that one. Duplication. Your projectile spells have a chance to duplicate, but you're more vulnerable to projectile damage. Well, I do not want projectile damage. 50% chance to shoot a projectile spell twice. That's actually better than I thought it was. Multicast wand with spark bolts would get into crazy critical territory. Each one's 5% added critical to all of them. But you take 25% more damage from projectiles. That's just awful. All projectile modifiers apply, including cast and recharge delay, but not mana drain. Huh. So you get the modifiers with this, but it doesn't drain your mana. That's actually pretty nice. But 25% damage from projectiles is terrible. I might get that if I have a shield. Or two. Triggers are sometimes ignored. Yeah, this is just terrible. Dangerous, dangerous. I think it's even more dangerous than concentrated. Because the side effects of concentrated are, I know them and I can avoid them. Might even be worse than homing. I sometimes take homing. If I'm just going on a run to kill Comey and beat the game, homing's not bad. But as soon as you want to like explore and use black holes, it's awful. It's an enemy there and you can't escape the room because the black hole keeps going backwards away from the wall to an enemy. I think I'd take that over random though. Oops. Random or stomach? I think I gotta go with random. That stomach one is terrible. Unless I have like 50,000 hit points and don't need to worry about it. Even then, it's annoying. You listen to that plank, plank, plank warning sound every few seconds. Drives me crazy. Okay, bouncing spells. I hate that one. I think it's worse than everything. Homunculus or bouncing? I think I would take it. Bouncing just ruins runs. I hate it. Unless you have like a homing spell or something. But things like all sorts of spells that are supposed to do things like digging and it doesn't dig, it just bounces and shit. It's really annoying. What is that explosion? Right, what does it look like? Just a giant explosion. Revenge explosion. You release a magical explosion upon taking damage and gain 25% resistance against explosions. Only 25%? Does your own explosion hurt you? The perk will trigger on any amount of damage. Your explosion can activate other explosives and create fires, but will not itself set the player on fire. The explosion destroys many sources of damage, including freezing vapor and other harmful gases, making it a useful alternative to gas fire. Can also eliminate earthquake material, lava, acid, and some... What's this? But you're still going to take damage. The roof falls on your head from an earthquake. You take the damage and then it explodes it. But I suppose you'd only get hit once rather than like 20 times as it flattens you. Wonder how much damage you'd take that if a big hunk of holy mountain's falling on your head. Can also eliminate lava, acid, some enemy projectiles. Not entirely useless, but I don't really like the idea of constantly exploding. So, detrimental probably. Random or explosion. Not sure which I would take over random perks. 2 random perks are exploding constantly. Not a fan of either. I don't know what all of these are. Okay, well, let me look at that. Laser beam out of your forehead. Personal plasma beam. You constantly fire devastating plasma beam, but you fire spells much slower. While holding a wand, you emit a constant stream of plasma similar to a... While holding a wand. Similar to a miniature version of the plasma beam. The perk increases the cast delay and recharge time of projectile and static projectile spells by 5 frames each. The beam deals 3.75 damage per frame. Huh, per stack. What the hell are you talking about? 2 entities that it contacts are 225 damage per second. The beam's length is 54. Oh, per stack in the perk, I see. Stacking, it barely does anything. Yeah, this is terrible. That's why I never take it. Slightly better than teleport. What about bounce? Would I take bounce or that one? Probably bounce. Alright. Gotta look up what the mushroom ones are. And the ghosts. Where's the ghosts? No, not a hungry ghost. What color is it? Red and gray. Mournful spirit. Dying creatures leave behind a spirit that deals damage in a small area. It wanders around randomly, dealing curse damage to enemies that come into contact with it. Therefore, it'll curse me when I'm a sheep. Therefore, it's terrible. Where's the other dangerous ghosts? And the red ghost. What is the red ghost? Angry ghost. He's the one that shoots copies. Could be fun if you fire a black hole and then start shooting a fast spark bolt wand and you have like machine gun black holes everywhere. But way too dangerous. It doesn't even require you to be polymorphed to kill you. It'll just grab some crazy spell and start shooting. Yeah, I figured out that part about super fast infinite black holes. Not quite infinite. After a while, they switch to shooting a different projectile. Yeah, okay, so that's terrible. I'd say that's worse than Mournful Spirit and Homincoli. I die a lot to that one. Bouncing spells are that. I think it's even worse than that. Similar to this, constantly blowing me up. Alright, what else we got? Knockback. That one's extra knockback on spells. Your spells knock enemies back more. Slightly fun. Can be useful when you're being attacked by Heses to keep them from like swarming on you. Other than that, I don't really find it useful. It could be fun to knock people off cliffs. One shot, boom, off the cliff they go. Or into lava pools or whatever, but most of the time I don't like it. Will fling enemies further away when hit by a projectile. Useful fight melee enemies. When using weak but fast spells like Bouncing Burst, you may find yourself disadvantaged by the fact their aim is thrown off by the enemy's recoiling. The minimum knockback value to cause an enemy to flinch is generally either 0 or quite large. So it won't knock back new enemy types, it'll just knock them further back. A 100,000 to stagger them. This perk adds 6. That's not exactly useful. Okay, extra knockback. It's not detrimental. Well, it's a little bit detrimental. I'd put it there then. No more knockback. Enemies can't knock you back. Also prevents you from being knocked out of the air when hit. Okay, that's very useful. I've died too many times getting shot above acid or lava and going for a swim. Or water with electricity in it. So yeah, that one's really useful. Or just like trying to fly out of a horseshoe-shaped pit full of enemies and I can't get out because they keep hitting me and knocking me back down. So yeah, that's very useful. I would call that good. Probably take it over an always cast. Would I take it over attracting gold? Probably. Yeah, that's about right. Fungal what? Fungal disease. When near danger, you sprout fungal growth. While within a short distance of an enemy, you emit bursts of spore pods at a rapid rate. In some circumstances, these will grow into blue or weird fungus after landing. Collect, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it ruins permanent shields. That's just terrible. Okay, so that one is detrimental. Would I take it over random perks? No. Maybe. Nah. It's not as bad as that one. Right about there. Didn't I look at the recoil ones? Low recoil. Recoil cost by your spells is greatly reduced, but your spells fly slightly slower. I don't like that. Honestly, I like recoil. It's really awesome making like a jetpack wand that's faster than teleporting, and you just like whip along, infinite flying. So yeah, that one actually I'm not a fan of. I don't know if I'd call it detrimental though. It has positives and negatives. I would say meh. Cordyceps. I'd take kicking over it. Now what's the other fungal one? Fungal colony. Slime near you spontaneously turns into fungal creatures. And then they blow up and kill you. Also spawns a potion of slime when obtained, collecting all three, blah blah blah. Well, those things blow up and hurt you, so that's not useful at all. Unless that stops them from hurting you, but I don't think it does. Alright, detrimental, similar to the explosion one. Rat minions? Wait, which one is it? Crawling rat. What? It's not called rat. Okay, what about that one then? Spontaneous generation. Vomit near you evolves into helpful rat minions. Also spawns a potion of vomit. Collect all three, blah, 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 blah. Grow a rat tail. That's cool. Increases movement speed by 15%. Nice. Okay, so... Oops, it didn't put me back where I was. The heck? I hate when back doesn't put you back where you were a moment ago. I guess that's okay. Doesn't seem like it's too negative. I just don't like any creatures. Again, if you get polymorph, they'll attack you, or they can get into bad business. I shall place this... I think I'd rather that to the worms coming after me. Alright. What was the other rat one? Plague rats. Enemies that die near you spawn hungry rats to serve your bidding. Rats no longer attempt to harm you except after friendly fire. Due to Berserkium or possibly with a more hatred perk. Well, that's lame. I don't want rats attacking me. Plague rats are much stronger than regular rats, but disappear after a while. Good for combating and distracting groups of ground-based opponents. Damage and hit points of plague rats scales with their Y coordinate. Stronger the deeper you go. Huh. Interesting. So they can absolutely murk you if you're down at Temple of the Art. And then you get some Berserkium. Or they get some Berserkium. And go crazy and just slaughter you. Again, why I never take the rat perks. I've had too many rats kill me. Additional stacks will cause more rats to spawn with each enemy death. Alright, so do not like plague rats. guess about there. Projectiles slow down? I don't know what that is. Projectiles slower. Projectiles near you slow down. Every stack will cause the projectiles to decelerate quicker, including the players. Yeah, that's the problem. You have to use long distance caster. You just can't do shit with that one. This can be countered by projectile repulsion fields. Projectile acceleration even synergizes with projectile repulsion field for increased projectile. What? So this would slow down the projectiles coming at you, and the repulsion field would just launch them back. But yeah, without long distance cast, it totally nerfs your own ability to do anything. And I love fast projectiles, so I definitely don't like that one. But it's not the end of the world. Because there are a fair amount of long distance casts spells available. But I would call that detrimental. Trying to decide if homing is worse or better. I don't know. Guess it depends on my particular run. Alright, what's this sparkly sparkle? Player with sparkles. Repelling cape. Oh, that's the repelling cape. Never recognized that icon. Stains go away much faster while you are moving. This also applies to potions. That's the downside, is the good potions don't stick around. I do like it with invisibility quite a bit. What? Stacking 10 or more will reverse the normal effect, making stains unaffected by movement. That should be EF effect, I believe. Making stains unaffected by movement. That's crazy. So you can stain yourself with ambrosia and then just go for a walk? That would be awesome. But yeah, basically I only use it if I'm trying to do a pacifist run and I have invisibility, or I'm doing like a mega run and I have 10 stainless armors. Otherwise, it's just awful. Do not like it all. Because for bad stains, things like poison or whatever, yes, it's useful for that, but you may as well just have water on hand and douse yourself, and then don't have to worry about losing your good stains. So it's only useful in very particular circumstances. But it's predictable. I still would take it over unpredictable pets that screw things up. The hell is that? What does it look like? A pink X. Revenge bullets. You return projectiles back to enemies upon taking damage. So they still damage you? And gain 20% resistance against projectiles and explosions. Huh. Perk has a cooldown of 10 frames or 1/6 of a second, during which it will not trigger. The return projectile is not guaranteed to hit, but will be aimed at the enemy which fired the shot. The speed of the return projectile is random, typically somewhere around the speed of a spark bolt. And the damage of the return projectile is double the damage of the received shot. That could be useful. Confers 20% projectile and explosion resistance. Applied directly to the player's current damage multipliers. This effect can stack and also stacks with other sources of projectile or explosion resistance. So it's mostly good, except for the unpredictability. It could, like, shoot a spell off that, like, go away, menu, or ads, or whatever the heck that is. It could, like, shoot a potion or something across the room that there's all, or like one of those propane tanks, and then it zooms across the room and blows up in your face. So yeah, I've had enough random deaths. I don't like random shit. I would say detrimental, but not super detrimental. Better or worse than homing? Yeah, that's fine. Now what the hell? Rat head. Revenge rats. When you take damage, there's a chance that you'll spawn a helpful rat minion. Helpful? Not helpful if you get polymorphed, I imagine. Where's my other rats? Alright. Kicking and tentacles. Revenge tentacle. You summon a monstrous tentacle upon taking damage and gain 25% resistance against projectiles. Projectile resistance is nice, but I hate random blobs whipping out of my body and causing damage and explosions and death. Cause a tentacle emerge from the player and hit anything that damages the player. This also includes taking damage from various passive sources of damage like lava or damage over time effects. Causing the tentacle to sometimes flail randomly. Yeah, I don't like that. 25% projectile resistance. That's pretty awesome, though. I think I'd go for slime blood for resistance. Although I don't know if you can get multiple slime bloods. Stackable, yes. So yeah, I'd stick to that one. Slightly detrimental. And never skip leg day. Your kicks deal extra damage and knockback. Increases kick damage by 60 and greatly increases enemy knockback. Kicking physical objects will send them flying. So, could be useful for killing Stavari. I find it awkward to control when it's like super kicking. I'm so used to kicking things at normal speeds. So I guess slightly bad. I'd say meh. Better than worm attraction. Better than rats randomness. I would take it over blood. I already forgot what that one is. I'd take it over leukemia. I'd take it over cordyceps. Stains drop fast. In general, I'd probably take it over that. Is that low recoil? I would take it over recoil. Telekinetic kick. I'm not a fan of telekinetic kick because I find it really awkward to control. It does have its uses, like bringing chests up to the altar or other items you want to transport around, or just picking up the statue to kill Steve. But it ruins normal kicking, which I don't like. And often I do things like grabbing something accidentally across the screen and then it whips towards me and destroys something along the way, like a potion or whatever. Very annoying. I think I'd take normal kicking over it. Ah, and that's all the perks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 godlies, 16 greats, 20 goods, 11 average, 15 meh, and a whole pile of detrimental ones. There was ones in here that I quite liked when I first started playing Noita, but after using them for a while, came to the conclusion that they're just gonna murder me. I try to avoid perks that murder me these days. Plenty enough ways for me to murder myself without helping it along. Alright, well, that be my perk list. It doesn't quite fit in the screen. Let me shrink it. Alright, let me take a screenshot. The hell, I can't see my crosshair. What the frick? This is dumb. It's got an overlay and I can't see the screen. Why is there frickin' overlay on my screen capture app? I never had one before. Okay, upload, sure. My final perk rankings. All right, time to Noita.